Microplastics, as the name implies, are tiny plastic particles. Officially, they are defined as plastic less than 5 millimeters, which is 0.2 inch in diameter, which is smaller in diameter than the standard per use in jewelries. There are two categories of microplastics, which is primary and secondary. Primary microplastics are tiny particles designed for the commercial use, such as cosmetic, as well as microfiber shed from clothing and other textiles, such as fishing nets. Secondary microplastics are particles that result from the breakdown of the larger plastic items, such as water bottles. This breakdown is caused by exposure to the environmental factors, mainly the sun radiation and ocean wave.
First of all, larger plastics in the ocean becomes microplastics. The ocean environment and UV rays from the sun will break down large pieces of plastic into microplastic. However, due to their small size, it is easier for them to mingle with ocean life. Fish will ingest them by accident while feeding. They are even small enough to be eaten by the plankton. By at the bottom of the food chain, other fish will often eat this plastic too. If not eaten, the plastic will pass through the plankton's digestive system and sink to the bottom of our oceans. Besides that, microplastic in our oceans is everywhere. Scientists also found plastic pollutants present in the Arctic sea ice. A survey of Arctic sea ice concluded microplastics have been accumulating throughout the years. As we create more plastics, it is being found at much higher quantities. Some samples found over 12,000 microplastic particles per liter of the sea ice. This sea ice can melt and rejoin the food chain. Next, microplastics are used in everyday products. Synthetic clothing and fleece are also a major source of microplastic. The fibers used to create these materials are made to be more durable and last longer. The downside is that we create a huge number of plastic pollutants in the process. The fabrics will release 1,900 synthetic fibers each time we wash them. Synthetic fibers are being used more and more to make clothing at a cheaper cost, but at what price? Scientists have found that these fibers make up 85% of microplastic in our ocean. Did you know that drinking water isn't safe from microplastics? Bottled water is also not safe from the reach of plastics. 11 of the world's largest bottled water brands were tested for microplastic. The results showed that staggering 93% of the bottled water contained microplastics. Currently, there are no regulations on the amount of microplastic in bottled water, which means companies are not held accountable of the number of microplastics we may be drinking. Lastly, microplastics have been found in humans. A pilot study in 2018 found for the first time that microplastics are also in humans' digestive tracts. Until this study, we didn't have any proof that these particles were having a direct impact on us. There is still a lot of what we do not know of the effects and impacts of plastics can have on our health.
Primary microplastics are plastic directly released into the environment in the form of small particulates that include tire for automobile. So each year's tire abrasion produces up to 68,000 tons of microplastic pollution, with between 2,000 and 19,000 tons ending up in the UK waterways. When tires are used, they degrade. The particles are made from the tire outer layer and are made up of a matrix of synthetic polymers, primarily styrene, butadiene rubbers, around 60%, mixed with natural rubber and a variety of additional additives. So the wind will then distribute the tire dust, or rain will wash it off the road. Next is clothing. Microfibers, on the other hand, are another source of microplastic. Microfibers are essentially microscopic plastic strands that are longer than bead. Because they have a bigger surface area, they are arguably worse than the relatively spherical microplastic. When we wash our garment, tiny synthetic fibers can be released into the waste drainage system of washing machine, resulting in between 2,300 and 5,900 tons of microplastic contamination each year. Up to 2,900 tons of that amount could make it through wastewater treatment filter and into our waterway. Then is a pellets. So pellets made of plastic. Many plastics are supplied as pellet or powder in their most basic form. Pellets are typically 2 to 5 millimeters in diameter. Pellets are carried to plastic transformer, which turn them into finished goods. Pellets can be discharged into the environment during manufacture, processing, transport, and recycling due to little or significant accident across the entire plastic value chain. It can contribute up to 5,900 tons of microplastic trash to UK waterway each year.
The next source of microplastic is the paint. The paint used on buildings and road markers can contribute between 1,400 to 3,700 tons of microplastic contamination to our river each year due to inclement weather and natural flaking. Next is human cosmetic. Small plastic microbeads are added to products like shower gels and facial scrub to boost their abrasive properties and ensure that they deliver proper cleaning in the cosmetics and hygiene business. Due to their minuscule size, these microbeads slowly make their way into water systems where they are unable to filter out by being pumped back into natural waterways. Secondary microplastic are microplastic originating from the degradation of larger plastic items into smaller plastic fragments once exposed to marine environment. It includes the action on the environment. Plastic do not decompose, although they are broken down, as previously stated. This is especially true in aquatic contexts, as a plastic waste and debris drift around in the ocean. They are subjected to severe sun radiation as well as frequent abrasion from wind and water waves. These elements gradually break down the plastic into smaller pieces of garbage, and the cycle repeats itself until the remaining debris is minuscule. Microplastics are formed in the terrestrial environment by human and animal action, as the impact on the plastic makes it easier to break them apart.
Pieces which are smaller than 5 mm are known as microplastic. They are used in cosmetic and also toothpaste, but majority of them comes from floating garbage that is regularly exposed to the ultraviolet radiation, and it crumbles into smaller and smaller particles. 51 trillion of those particles drift in the water, where they are even easier to consume by all the types of marine animals. Scientists are concerned about the health risk posed by the chemicals which are used in the plastic. BPA, for an example, is used to make plastic bottles translucent, but there are proof that it disturbs the hormone system of humans, which are possibly leading to cancer. As we look into the effect of microplastic towards the environment, we can strongly agree that oceans are part of the environment that are highly affected through microplastic. Our oceans are littered with plastic garbage, endangering the lives of millions of marine animals. Because of this lethal environmental hazard, seals, whales, dolphins, seagulls, fish, crabs, and many other sea species are dying and becoming sick.
Microplastics are regularly eaten by sea animals due to their microscopic size. Plastic also contains harmful compounds that can cause sickness and interfere with reproduction. Seals and other animals may suffer for months or years after consuming microplastics before dying. The term ghost gear refers to fishing equipment that has been abandoned or lost at the sea. Whales, dolphins, turtles, seals, and other sea animals can be entangled and killed by nets and other man-made devices.
Solutions for microplastic pollution is by removing plastic microbeads from personal care products. Microbeads are tiny plastic particles that are found in personal care products like face wash and toothpaste, as well as cleaning products. They are small enough to go down the drains, pass through water filtration system with ease, and end up in the sea. They account for 4% of all marine plastic pollutions. Removing microbeads from personal care products and replacing them with biodegradable alternatives is a viable way to reduce plastic aquatic pollution produced by personal care product manufacturing and use. The Microbeads-Free Water Act 2015, which went into force in 2017, prohibits the sale of personal care items that contain plastic microbeads. Plastic microbeads are being phased out or banned in other locations, including Canada, Australia, and several European countries. More countries are likely to adopt similar rules in removing a major source of microplastic from the environment. Next is biodegradable materials. Plastics that degrade naturally in the environment are known as biodegradable. Biodegradable plastics have a structure that allows natural microorganisms to quickly break them down, resulting in a less damaging end product for environment. Polylactic (PLA) and polyhydroxyalkanoates (PHA) and other biodegradable plastics are commercially available can be used to replace traditional plastics in a variety of applications. Microbeads constructed of PHA and PLA for examples. These polymers not only degrade faster when disposed, but they can also be easily recycled using organic process. They are also non-toxic because they don't contain any chemicals or poisons. Recycling reduces landfill waste, and in addition, recycled biowaste can be composted or converted into renewable energy for biogas.
The next solution is reduce, reuse, and recycle plastic. Reducing single-use plastic can help the environment because the packaging sector more broadly is the biggest user of plastic polymers. Recycling is the process of collecting and processing used and waste material so that they can be reused. The waste elements are separated and processed before being prepared for reuse as raw materials in new products. Plastic is a non-biodegradable substance that takes decades to break down to the stage where it can be reused. Recycling and chemically processing plastic for reuse is a more effective way to preserve the environment from plastic pollution than allowing it to harm the environment. Last but not least is improve separation efficiency at wastewater treatment plant. Existing wastewater treatment facilities should be enhanced to effectively dispose of microplastic and prevent them from accessing surface water such as river and ocean. A simple and practical technique to prevent microplastic fiber from entering sewage is to upgrade the filter in the washing machine. Wastewater treatment plants are important for environmental protection. By using appropriate technology and robust operating procedure, some pollutants from wastewater such as organic matter, nitrogen and phosphorus can be removed and prevent negative environmental impact.